It feels like forever. But the Duttons are finally back. Season 5, Part 2 of Yellowstone is here. And, well, let me tell you, it does not disappoint.
Yeah, it's been a long wait.
You sent me a whole stack of articles about the new season, and there's just so much to talk about.
Definitely.
So much drama.
A lot of drama, both on screen and off.
Yeah, like Kevin Costner leaving, and then there's a shocking death,
Yeah.
and a lot of questions about the future of the whole Yellowstone.
The Yellowstone Ranch.
Yeah.
And, one of the things that I find really interesting about this season is that it's not coming out on Paramount Plus right away.
Right.
You actually have to watch it the old school way with cable, or you can get it on Prime Video.
Oh.
Which is fascinating because it kind of shows how the way we watch television is evolving and changing. So
it's a real head scratcher. I mean, I'm so used to just going to Paramount Plus, and there it is.
Yeah.
But okay, we need to just address the elephant in the room. Kevin Costner and John Dutton.
Yes.
Spill the beans.
John Dutton is dead. The season premiere revealed that right off the bat.
Wow.
And it was a very bold choice by Taylor Sheridan.
Yeah.
The show's creator.
I mean, he is the show's creator.
Yeah, to just address it head on like that.
Yeah.
And I think it really sets a somber tone right from the get-go.
Yeah.
And raises the stakes for the entire season.
I have to say, as a fan, I was like, wait, what?
Right.
John Dutton is like the he's the anchor of the show.
Yeah.
So to see him go like that,
Yeah.
it's like having pancakes with no syrup. It just feels wrong.
Yeah.
But, the articles you sent hinted at some behind-the-scenes drama.
Yeah.
So tell me what led to this decision.
Right. Well, Costner's commitment to his Horizon film series, which is a 4-part Western epic, apparently caused some major scheduling conflicts with Yellowstone.
Oh, sure.
And Costner himself even addressed his exit on social media and acknowledged the fans' anticipation for the new season in a very matter-of-fact way.
So Horizon sounds like a pretty big undertaking. Yeah.
Huge. Yeah, it's a passion project of his, for sure.
Wow. I mean, to leave Yellowstone for it.
I know, right?
So how did they actually handle John Dutton's death on screen? Was it a grand spectacle?
It was actually very subtle.
Okay.
We don't see the death itself, but it's revealed through the reactions of Beth and Case, which honestly adds to the emotional weight of it.
Yeah.
The director, Christina Voros, actually mentioned that Sheridan really wanted to focus on the impact of John's death, not the spectacle of it.
It's like how they handled Logan Roy's death in Succession, right?
Exactly.
His death also sent those ripples throughout the whole family and really drove the rest of the season.
Yeah, it really creates a power vacuum and forces the remaining characters to kind of grapple with their own ambitions and loyalties and the future of their empire.
Exactly. Yeah. So John Dutton's death leaves this gaping hole, not just in the Dutton family, but like in the whole landscape of the Yellowstone.
Absolutely.
So how does Season 5, Part 2 grapple with this monumental loss?
Yeah, well, the premiere episode kicks off with this really interesting structure where it starts with the present day.
Okay.
Then flashes back to 6 weeks prior. And then returns back to the present.
Oh, wow.
And I think if the premiere is any indication, we can expect this kind of back and forth timeline to continue.
I mean, Sheridan loves playing with time in Yellowstone, right?
He loves it.
I mean, he did it with the flashbacks to young Rip and Beth.
Yeah.
And he even did it in the prequel series, 1883.
Right. And it really adds layers to the story. You know,
absolutely.
It's not just about explaining things, it's about complicating the narrative.
And that's what makes it so binge-worthy.
Right.
It's never straightforward.
Never.
Okay, so with John gone, things are bound to get messy.
Yeah.
So what's the initial fallout?
Well, Beth's reaction is definitely going to be a major focus this season.
Okay.
Kelly Riley, who plays Beth, actually described her as a hurricane of grief and vengeance.
Oh, wow.
And that final scene of the premiere with Beth's cry.
Oh, my gosh. Chilling.
Yeah, so Beth's rage is palpable.
Definitely.
What do you think will be the consequences of her grief, both for herself and for others?
Well, Jamie is definitely in her crosshairs.
Of course.
But there's this new player who might be even more dangerous.
Oh.
Sarah Atwood.
Okay.
Jamie's girlfriend.
Right.
She is a political operative.
Uh-huh.
She's sharp as a tack, and she might actually be the brains behind John's downfall.
Oh, wow. So Sarah Atwood could be the real villain of the season.
Potentially, yeah.
What makes her so formidable?
What's fascinating about Sarah is that she is a master manipulator.
Okay.
She really understands the levers of power, and she's not afraid to pull them. And she has already shown a willingness to play dirty.
Uh-huh.
Remember how she orchestrated that whole smear campaign against John?
Right.
She's playing the long game, and she is not someone to be underestimated.
A wild card.
Definitely.
And how about the other characters? How are they processing John's death? Well, Rip, being John's right-hand man,
right,
and practically a son to him, is obviously devastated.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah. I think we can expect him to be Beth's rock in all this. But also knowing Rip, I think he's probably seeking his own brand of frontier justice.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You don't mess with Rip.
It's going to be a long 6 episodes.
Oh, yeah.
For anyone who crosses Beth and Rip.
Definitely.
That's for sure. But speaking of the remaining episodes, there's a lot of uncertainty surrounding the show's future.
Yeah.
I mean, is this the end of Yellowstone, or is there more to come?
Right. It's the big question.
Yeah. The articles mention talks of a 6th season.
Yeah.
But nothing's been confirmed.
Nothing's for sure yet.
It really makes you wonder if this whole situation with Costner leaving is kind of a sign of what's to come in the TV landscape.
Interesting thought.
I mean, we've got streaming services battling it out with cable.
Right.
And creators like Sheridan wielding more power.
Absolutely.
It's a wild west out there, just like in the show.
Exactly. And Yellowstone is right at the center of it all.
So much to consider. John Dutton's death, a new power dynamic, a potential new villain.
Right.
And the entire future of the show hanging in the balance.
Yeah. Where do we even go from here?
I don't know.
Well, I think it's time we take a closer look at who might fill the power vacuum that John Dutton left behind.
All right.
Will it be Beth, fueled by vengeance?
Yeah.
Jamie, driven by ambition?
Right.
Or someone entirely unexpected?
Oh.
That's what we'll explore next.
Can't wait.
Yeah, it's going to be good. What's interesting is how John's death completely shakes up the whole power structure in the Yellowstone universe.
Right.
I mean, we're not just talking about a rancher here.
Right.
This is the governor of Montana.
He wore 2 very powerful hats.
Absolutely.
And now they're up for grabs.
Yeah.
It's like dropping a bomb in the middle of a chessboard.
Totally.
So who's going to make the first move?
Right. Well, you have to think about Beth.
Okay.
She is obviously fueled by grief and vengeance right now.
Right.
But Beth's always been a strategic player.
That's true.
She's ruthless, and she's definitely got her father's cunning.
Yeah.
Could she be the one to take control?
Okay.
Not just of the ranch, but of the political landscape as well.
Death as a political force.
Yeah. Think about it.
Oh, that's a terrifying thought.
For her enemies. Yeah.
But wouldn't Jamie see this as his chance?
Oh, for sure.
He's been vying for power for seasons now.
JB's definitely a contender. I mean, he's always been ambitious.
Yeah.
But he's also easily manipulated.
Yeah.
Remember how Sarah Atwood was pulling his strings?
Oh, totally.
So with John gone, will Jamie finally step out of the shadows?
Right.
Or will he just become someone else's puppet?
Okay, but what about a dark horse candidate?
Ooh, okay.
Someone we're not even thinking about yet.
Right.
You know, the articles mention market equities.
Yeah.
They're still lurking. They're still waiting to snatch up the Yellowstone.
Right, yeah.
Could they swoop in and capitalize on all this chaos?
I mean, they're like vultures circling, just waiting for the right moment to strike.
Totally.
John was their biggest obstacle.
Right.
And now he's gone.
Gone.
And don't forget, they've got deep pockets.
Oh, yeah.
And they're not afraid to use their influence.
Right.
They could make a serious play for that ranch.
Yeah.
And turn it into some soulless resort.
Oh, God.
Which would be such a slap in the face to everything John stood for.
Sure.
Okay, what about Chief Rainwater?
Oh, interesting.
The Broken Rock Reservation has always had this
complicated
relationship with the Duttons.
Right.
Could John's death be the catalyst for a power shift?
Ooh.
Maybe even a chance to reclaim some of that land.
That's where things get really interesting.
Yeah.
John's death kind of throws that whole power dynamic between the ranch, the reservation, the state of Montana into question.
Totally.
We could see alliances formed.
Yeah.
Old rivalries reignited, and maybe even some unexpected betrayals.
Oh, my gosh.
It's going to be good. It's like this high-stakes poker game.
It is.
With the fate of the Yellowstone and everyone around it hanging in the balance.
Totally.
And don't forget, Taylor Sheridan, the mastermind behind this whole saga, he's dealing the cards.
Right.
Sheridan loves his twists and turns.
Oh, he loves them.
I have a feeling he's got some aces up his sleeve.
I think so, too.
And those flashbacks.
Yeah.
They're not just there for nostalgia.
No, they're laying the groundwork for something. Some connection we haven't even seen yet.
Okay, my mind is officially blown.
Good.
We've got a power vacuum shifting alliances, corporate sharks,
Yeah.
a vengeful daughter, a master manipulator whispering in someone's ear.
It's all there.
I need a flowchart just to keep track.
I know, right?
What should we, the viewers, be looking out for in these final episodes?
Okay, well, pay close attention to the little things.
Okay.
The looks exchanged between characters,
Uh-huh.
those seemingly throwaway lines,
Okay.
the objects that keep reappearing.
Right.
Sheridan's a master at planting clues.
That's true.
Remember that branding iron that went missing?
Right.
Or that photo of the old Dutton family?
Yeah.
There's a reason those details are there.
So it's not just about the big explosive moments.
Right.
It's also about the subtle details, the things that seem insignificant,
Right.
but could end up being crucial.
Exactly. And remember, every character has their own agenda.
Right.
Don't fall into the trap of thinking that someone's purely good or purely evil.
Yeah.
This is Yellowstone,
Yeah.
where morality is blurred
Totally.
and survival often means making tough choices,
Uh-huh.
even crossing lines you never thought you would.
You never know who's going to betray who or make a play for power.
You really don't.
Yeah.
And don't forget about the bigger picture here.
Yeah.
Sheridan isn't just telling a story about a family.
Right.
He's exploring the changing American West,
Yeah.
the clash between tradition and progress,
Uh-huh.
the fight for land and legacy.
That's so true.
These are themes that resonate with all of us,
Yeah.
even if we've never been on a horse.
You're making me want to go back and rewatch the whole series with fresh eyes.
It's a show that rewards multiple viewings, for sure.
Yeah.
Each time you catch something new,
Right.
another layer to the story, another clue to the puzzle.
Yeah.
And I have a feeling these final episodes
Yeah.
are going to be the key to unlocking a lot of those mysteries.
All right. So we're all going to be glued to our screens, analyzing every frame.
Totally.
But before we get too lost in the weeds here,
Okay.
I want to talk about the cultural impact of Yellowstone.
Yeah,
This show is a phenomenon.
it is.
Why do you think it strikes such a chord with so many people?
I think there's a certain romanticism to it,
Okay.
you know, a longing for a simpler time,
Yeah.
the wide open spaces,
Uh-huh.
the rugged individualism.
Yeah.
It taps into our nostalgia for the American West,
Yeah.
even if that West never really existed quite the way we imagine it.
It's escapism, but with that gritty edge,
That
sense of danger that keeps it real.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then there's the family drama.
Right.
The Duttons, for all their power and their wealth,
Yeah.
are still a family struggling with the same issues that we all face.
Right. Loyalty, betrayal.
Exactly.
The need to belong.
Right. And their problems might be on a grander scale
Of course.
with the ranch and the political battles and all of that.
Yeah.
But at the heart of it,
Yeah.
they're dealing with the same universal themes
Yeah.
that resonate with everyone.
And the characters are larger than life,
They are.
but they're also deeply flawed.
Right.
They make mistakes, they hurt each other.
Yeah.
They do things that we might not agree with,
Right.
but we're invested in their journeys.
Right.
Yeah, we're rooting for them even when they're being terrible.
Totally. And that's the magic of Yellowstone.
Right.
It draws you into this world,
Mm-hmm.
makes you care about these characters, and keeps you
Yeah.
guessing until the very end.
You can't deny that the show is visually stunning.
Oh, absolutely stunning.
The cinematography, the music, the performances,
Yeah.
it all comes together to create a truly immersive experience.
It's like watching a Western epic unfold on your screen.
Right, but it's that emotional core
Yeah.
that really grabs you.
Totally.
Yellowstone makes you think about the choices you make,
Yeah.
the sacrifices you're willing to make for family,
Right.
the legacy you want to leave behind.
It forces us to confront some uncomfortable truths
Okay.
about the American West,
Uh-huh.
about the history of violence and exploitation,
Yeah.
and the displacement of indigenous peoples.
Yeah.
It doesn't shy away from those complexities,
It doesn't.
which adds a lot of depth and nuance
Yeah.
to the storytelling.
It's entertainment, yes,
Yeah.
but it's also this reflection of our own history and culture,
Absolutely.
a way to kind of grapple with the issues we face today.
Right.
And with John Dutton gone,
Yeah.
that reflection just gets even more intense.
Absolutely. His death marks a real turning point,
Yeah.
not just for the show,
Right.
but for our understanding of what the Yellowstone represents.
So with the final episodes looming, we're left with a million questions.
Right.
What will happen to the ranch?
Right.
Who will rise to power?
Totally.
And what does John Dutton's legacy mean for the future of the Yellowstone universe?
Those are the questions that'll keep us on the edge of our seats.
Yeah.
But there's one more layer to this story,
Okay.
one that goes beyond the power struggles
Okay.
and the fight for the land.
You've got me intrigued.
Good.
What's this final layer that we need to peel back? So you've been talking about this other layer to the Yellowstone story, something beyond all the power struggles and the betrayals.
Yeah.
What is it?
It's the theme of legacy.
Okay.
John Dutton wasn't just fighting to keep his land.
Right.
He was fighting to preserve a way of life,
Yeah.
a set of values that he saw as slipping away in the modern world.
He really did represent, a certain kind of rugged individualism,
Yeah.
that connection to the land,
Right.
and a fierce loyalty to family.
Totally.
I mean, you don't really see that much anymore.
Not really, no.
Not in this world of, high finance and
Yeah, instant gratification.
instant gratification, yeah.
Right.
So his death kind of raises the question,
Yeah.
can that kind of legacy even survive?
Right.
With all this pressure.
It does.
You've got developers circling like sharks,
Yeah.
politicians with their own agendas, and even within the family itself,
Yeah.
there's this struggle between holding on to the past
Yeah.
and forging a new past.
It's like the weight of history is bearing down on everyone,
Totally.
especially the younger generation.
Beth Case, Jamie.
Yeah.
They're all products of John Dutton's world,
Absolutely.
but they're also individuals trying to figure out their own place in it.
And they each kind of embody different aspects of John's legacy, don't they?
Oh, yeah. How so?
Well, I think Beth has his fire,
Oh, yeah.
his ruthlessness, but also that deep love for the land.
Yeah.
Casey's torn,
Yeah.
between the pull of the ranch and his desire for a simpler life.
Right.
A life free from all that violence.
Totally.
And then there's Jamie.
Yeah, Jamie's the wild card.
He is.
He's always resented his father's power,
Right.
but he's also craved his approval.
Yeah, that's the interesting thing about Jamie.
So now that John's gone,
Yeah.
will Jamie finally break free
Right.
and embrace his own ambition?
Will he betray everything his father stood for?
Even if it means, betraying everything his father stood for.
Exactly. That's the big question.
Yeah.
And the answer might actually lie with Sarah Atwood.
Oh, interesting.
She's like a serpent whispering in his ear,
Totally.
tempting him with power, but also pushing him toward a path that could lead to his destruction.
It's like a Shakespearean tragedy.
It is.
It's in the making.
Yeah, and the setting,
Yeah.
the vast landscapes of Montana,
Yeah.
the rugged beauty of the ranch.
Yeah. It's also epic.
It really adds to that sense of epic scale,
Yeah.
this battle for the soul of the American West.
And it's a battle that's being fought on so many fronts.
It is.
You have the ranchers versus the developers,
Yeah.
the Duttons versus the Broken Rock Reservation,
Right.
and then even the struggles within the family itself.
It's a very multi-layered story,
It is.
rich with symbolism
Right.
and moral ambiguity.
No wonder people are so obsessed with Yellowstone.
I know.
I mean, it's not just a show.
No.
It's a cultural phenomenon.
It really is.
It just taps into our fascination with power,
Yeah.
family,
Yeah.
and, the changing landscape of America.
Absolutely.
And it asks those tough questions
You got it.
about who we are and what we value.
And it does so with such visual flair
Right.
and emotional intensity.
The cinematography is stunning.
Oh, yeah.
The performances are amazing.
And
And the writing is just so sharp.
I have to hand it to Taylor Sheridan.
Me too.
He has created a world
Yeah.
that is both familiar,
And
utterly unique.
yeah.
A world that draws you in and doesn't let go.
And with John Dutton gone,
Right.
that world is about to become
Oh, yeah.
even more unpredictable and,
Wow.
and dangerous.
Buckle up.
Hmm. Well, we've covered a lot of ground today.
We have.
From Kevin Costner leaving
Yeah, yeah.
to the power vacuum.
The new villains.
The new villains.
The themes of legacy and family.
But with these final episodes still to come,
Yeah.
I have a feeling this is just the tip of the iceberg.
Oh, definitely.
There are still so many questions.
So many.
Who will be the new leader of the Yellowstone?
Yeah.
Will the ranch survive all these outside forces?
Right.
And what will become of the Dutton family?
I guess we'll have to wait and see.
I guess so.
But one thing's for sure.
Wait's that.
This final chapter of Yellowstone is going to be epic.
It's going to be a wild ride.
It is, and we'll be here,
Yeah.
ready to dive deep into every twist and turn.
So to our listeners,
Yes.
get ready.
Buckle up.
And remember,
Yeah.
the Yellowstone is more than just a ranch.
It's a symbol,
It's a symbol of the American West.
a place where history and myth collide,
Yeah.
and where the fight for survival is never truly over.
As John Dutton himself once said,
Oh, yeah.
this isn't the end, it's the beginning.
Well said.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into Yellowstone.
Absolutely.
Until next time,
Yes.
happy watching.